grow. I'm at war with it, but it's hard to let it go.
Alright, so I bought Destiny in early January 2015, but beforehand, I spent a lot of time researching what character I was about to start off with. Out of the Titan and the Warlock, I couldn't decide which one I liked better because they both were equally dope to me. But I was almost dead set on picking the Titan to begin with. Before I actually started playing the game, one of my friends who started off as a hunter said that he would make a Titan and level up with me, which really deterred me from wanting to pick the Titan as my first character. It was super difficult for me to pick between the two because I had a very long history with role-playing games, and my character of choice was always the warrior. Anything with a sword and a shield is who I will always have an affinity for. My second favorite characters, however, were always the wizards and the mage characters. And if a game ever let me customize what type of powers I wanted my characters to have, I will always pick a swordsman with wizardry. But I was deterred from starting off with the Titan because I assumed that Destiny was a game based on variety, and I thought that the success of the endgame and fire teams and activities like raids would rely on fire team variety. How wrong I was. If I knew that Destiny was a game where everybody used the same weapons and armor and didn't even strive to be different, I probably wouldn't have cared what my friend was doing to start it off with a Titan anyways. But I'm happy I didn't. And I'm honestly happy, well, even happier, that I started picking the Warlock because I eventually realized it was a better choice for me because I almost went completely nuts the first time I saw the Nova Bomb while watching an IGN review of the Voidwalker subclass. It's a pretty long time ago from now. Later on, I ended up finding out that the Warlock was the most underplayed and probably the most hated class in the game, which made me like it even more. My individuality has always been paramount to me, so being somebody who mained the least popular class in the game gave me a weird sense of pride. Because out of all the thousands of YouTube channels I watched and everybody I subscribed to that covers Destiny content, I literally only found one person that mains Warlock. And to be 100% honest with you, I don't think he was a day one Warlock main. I'm pretty sure he started off like a hunter. Yeah, pretty sure he started off as a hunter like everybody else and eventually switched over to the Warlock later on. But the real reason why I'm bringing this up is because I don't think people realize that the Warlock was the least played class in the entirety of Destiny 1. And I'm sticking to my guns on this one, people. Seriously, like my entire group of friends who I consistently played Destiny with, which consisted around 60 something people, maybe 70. I'm pretty sure I was the only one who started off with Warlock and stayed faithful to that class. I'm not even joking. I got like 60 days played on the Warlock alone out of 4,500 total hours of Destiny playtime. I mean, I spent a lot of time on the Bungie forums and various websites doing my research to how this came to be, and I heard that a lot of people were making the same complaints. Two of them being that the Warlock has a range melee and how it had the worst jump in the game, which I completely agree with that. I mean, it's true, but let's keep it 100 though. The Warlock got completely shafted when it came to exclusive abilities. The Titan and the Hunter both had some sort of exclusive evasive maneuver, even though the Titan's form of such came from an exotic armor piece. Now, I know the Warlock can use Blink, but the Blade Dancers could use Blink too, and it could even be debated that Blink was supposed to be a Warlock exclusive ability, because if you knew Destiny's lore, it'd tell you that the Hunters learn how to blink from the Warlocks. That probably explains why the Warlock is the only character that can blink in Destiny 2 if you think about it. But while we on the same topic of exclusive abilities, the Warlock had Angel of Light, which the Titan took and called the Imperium Bellicose. The Warlock also had Gift of the Sun, which the Titan took and called the Armamentarium. I mean, you pretty much see a trend here, right? But in Destiny 2, they gave the Warlock Weapons and Blessings of Light and called them Empowering and Healing Rift. The Dawnblade is essentially the Sunbreaker, and it even has the Twilight Garrison style evasion ability, so the Warlock and the Titan continue to steal from one another. Not to mention that the self-res was the only, as far as I'm concerned, only famous ability that Warlock had, which didn't make it into Destiny 2 for obvious reasons. Now, Being a Warlock main, I've always felt like the black sheep. And I would even go to the extreme and say that the Warlock feels like to be the most underrated character in the game. But a lot of people would probably go out of their way to disagree with me, because, you know, I done got into debates with people when I say that the Warlock doesn't feel as powerful or as supported as the other two classes. In almost every scenario, somebody will combat me and say that the Warlock is the most powerful class in the game or the best in PvP, and that's normally because they hate the Stormcaller, which I understand why. But that doesn't apply to me much, because I started off as a Void Walker for PvP, and I remained a Void Walker for the entirety of the game. And I'm for certain it's going to stay that way in Destiny 2. So let's all keep our fingers crossed and hope that the full game of Destiny 2 was a solid delivery. But that's all I got for y'all right now, so I'll catch y'all in the next video.